T Squad, it's your girl Keisha, and I'm here with my all tea, all shade. Good Girl, Season 2, Episode 3 review. So, this is the show that I told you all I was going to start reviewing. I actually binge watched Season 1 last weekend, and I fell in love with the show, especially the sexy ass Rio. Rio is bae. He is like life giving. I want to marry that nigga. I want to find him. The actor Manny Montana is my new crush. I love him. He makes the show to me. I love how the writers are writing his character. I love the love story that's brewing between him and Beth. It just gets to my heart. So this will be a show that I'm adding to the list of shows that I will be reviewing. So in tonight's episode, we see Beth ass holding a silencer, waiting behind a dumpster. Ann and Ruby in the car watching her, and Ruby tells Ann how she got them a hotel room for the alibi that they're having a girls' night, because Ruby is married and Beth is married, but she's estranged with her husband. And they gotta have an alibi anyway, because they're about to kill a nigga. So Beth is about to kill who she suspects is Boomer coming out of the grocery store, but it's the wrong man. It's the little fat dude that worked at the grocery store. So Ann tries to call her to get her to stop before she shoots the dude. So she calls her phone, but Beth doesn't hear her phone ringing, so they panic. They like, what the fuck? She ain't hearing the phone ring. And so Ann honks her on. She's like, bar, bar. And then Beth like, oh shit. She falls to the ground. They get the boy to come over to the car and act like, there's just a regular little night or whatever, them having a conversation. But Beth is over by the dumpster freaking out. She emptied the clip and she just like, what the fuck? Like it was a close fucking call. So Rio and Beth are in the park talking, and he just looks so fucking good with his tattoos and his low haircut and it's all black, and I just want to sit on his beautiful face. And he tells her that the feds got Boomer tucked away. So then his son comes over and she watches him as he talks to his son and gives, drops some jewels on his little boy. And I just feel like Rio has a whole life that we are going to continue to explore and get to know more about. I wouldn't be surprised if that nigga married my nigga. We see later on in the episode that like Rio got money. Like Rio is that nigga. He is just a major kingpin, and he just so smart, and he just so fine. And I love his gruff, raspy voice. I just love everything about this nigga. And Beth is watching him, like I said, as he's talking to his son, and she really admires his relationship. So Beth asks him, will he take over now that they can't get to Boomer? And he says, no, it'll be over when they finish it. So Beth like, how? And Rio say, be a boss bitch. And she looking like, I'm tired of you calling me a bitch, nigga. So Ruby tells her husband that her girl Deandra boyfriend ghosted her a few days ago. She says that, the girl is losing her mind, and asks, what would the police do to root him out? Like she's just, getting information from her husband so they can try to figure out where the fuck Boomer is, since they got to kill him. So he says, track his cell phone, talk to his family. And then we see Ann show up at Boomer's granny's salon, because she has a rapport with the old lady. She really likes her. So she goes to the salon to get information out of the grandmother, and she tells the grandmother that Boomer hasn't shown up to work, which he hadn't. The granny say, he isn't sick, because I talk to him every night before bed. So Ann asks, does she know where he is? And she says he's probably with his fiance. Him and Mary Pat been fucking. So we then see Boomer eating wings with sauce all on his drawers, just looking nasty. I can't stand Boomer ass. I've been waiting for him to die. Mary Pat, his fiance, calls him and asks where he is, but he won't tell her. She tells him that the kids miss him and that she misses him too. And he like, damn, like you do, like I miss you. And he like, look, write this number down. And he gives her the address to where he's at. And she said, all right, I'm about to come see you. And then we see the camera pan over to Beth, Ruby, and Ann, who was sitting right there in her kitchen listening to the whole conversation. She gives them the address to the hotel he's staying at, and she asks him what are they going to do with him. And Beth says, never let him bully us again. And Mary Pat says, I think y'all should just kill him, sis, because she is over this nigga. She don't like him, and she just want him out of her fucking life. And Mary Pat is fucking psycho crazy, and you can't trust that bitch. I want her ass to die too, because I already don't trust that hoe. So the girls are waiting outside the hotel. Ann gets the gun out and says she's gonna kill him, and Beth like, nah, I'm gonna do it. I can't let that be on you. You my little sister. And Ann is like, no, I'm gonna do it. The motherfucker tried to rape me. Like, I'm gonna do this shit. So Ruby, like, it really don't matter which one of us do it. Because at the end of the day, it's gonna be on all of us, which really is like when you're in this predicament where you're about to kill somebody, it don't matter who pulled the trigger, we all are gonna be affected by it. So Beth tears up as Ann knocks on the door, and we then see Boomer knocking on the door and realize he's not there. He's at Mary Pat's door. She lies and tell him that she was on her way to come see him, but he knows she lying. He drunk as shit, touching all on her face, and she looking like, ugh, get off of me, like I can't stand you, like a roach. So he sees that she got her bags packed by the door. He asks her where she going, and then he run in her bedroom and check the closet, and she tells him to leave, and she like, I don't love you, I don't even like you, motherfucker. Like, just leave me the fuck alone. So Mary Pat say, I hate you. And Boomer say, shut up. When you say stuff like that, it makes me mad. And I'm like, oh, he crazy. Oh, he not only ugly, but crazy. So she asks him to leave again, and instead he closes the door. And I'm like, what the fuck he about to do with her? Is he about to kill her? He about to rape her? Like, what the fuck, nigga? So the girls are in Boomer's room waiting on him, and they having like crazy idle conversation about how much this little dingy, nasty ass hotel room costs. So then we go back to Mary Pat, and we see her sitting on the ground in just her t-shirt and panties, and we realize she fucked him in order to get him to calm down and go to sleep. And I was like, well, bitch, you got like 90 million kids. You don't give a fuck about tossing that pussy to save your life. But she's sitting on the floor like distraught because she knows he makes her fucking skin crawl. So one of her sons come in the room, and she tells him, be quiet, and you want some breakfast, go in mommy's purse and go get my keys out and just be real quiet about it because we don't want to wake up this motherfucker laying out on my bed in these nasty ass drawers. So the little boy like, all right, mommy, I got you. So then we see her dressed, and she packed all her badass kids in a van, and then right when she about to close the trunk, Boomer come out and catches her. So she like, oh fuck. So she run and get in the car. He try to stop her, but she already get in and lock the door. He like, get the fuck out the car. You're not fucking leaving me. So I'm like, this nigga is straight up real 2 Live Crew crazy. So he tried to stop her by running in behind the car, and she ended up backing that over him, and she ended up backing the car over him and running this motherfucker over. And I was like, hallelujah, this nigga is dead. We done got rid of fucking Boomer. And so she sit there and like look back to see if her kids notice, and they all got headphones on, so they ain't even heard the shit that went down. So she like, oh shit, I finally killed this nigga. So then the girls are at her house, and she tells them that it was an accident, that she didn't really mean to kill him, but that that she wait a minute, where was it in my note? But that she got rid of the body because she didn't want the kids to see it. So they like, well, where you put the body at? She was like, well, girl, my other nigga like to, get all these little, deer meats and all this kind of shit. So I just put this motherfucker in the meat freezer. And they looking like, what, bitch? How the fuck you fit this nigga in the meat freezer? And they all looking at her like, how did you fit him in the meat freezer, sis? Like, what in the fuck? So they realized this bitch is nuts. So Beth like, what do you mean? And Mary Pat was like, it was too much of him. And she realized right then and there, Beth and them like, this bitch did cut this nigga body up. Like, oh, we can't trust this bitch. Oh, she crazy. She crazy. So, um, the girls are then standing outside of the meat freezer looking like, what the fuck are we gonna do? And say, they need to pin everything on Mary Pat and let her take the fall. But Beth reminds her that they all gonna go down because she called them, and she gonna be on her call. They gonna be on her call log. So they then decide to get rid of the body after dark. Beth's son, we found out, been acting up in school, and her husband blames it on him getting shot by Rio, and her crazy ass running around like she Tupac. So Ruby is stressed out cooking and shit when she overhears her daughter talking about this trash field, where they dump all the trash or whatever, how it's disgusting and it's messing up the environment. So she's like, wait a minute, daughter, where you say that was at again? So they then decide to dump the body in this trash field. So Ann then runs up on Nancy, her ex-husband's new wife. And mind you, on last week's episode, the Nancy caught them and realized they've been fucking around behind her back. Nancy is also pregnant with her first child, with Ann's ex-husband. So Ann run up on Nancy, asks her, can she watch Sadie? Bitch, you bold as fuck, Ann. Like, Ann bold as fuck. Like, how you gonna be fucking this girl husband and then ask her to watch her stepdaughter for you? Like, bitch, you ain't shit. But I live for Ann. I've been loving Maisie, May, I think her name is Maisie or either May. Yeah, her name is May. I've been loving May since she was on Parenthood. So Nancy looked like, bitch, like you got all the fucking nerve. She's like, look, I love her, but I don't love you. But I'm gonna watch her for your ass. So the girls are in the car with Boomer dead body swishing around, and they are just disgusted by the sound. They just ready to get this shit over with. So they get to the dumpster, and Ruby is freaking the fuck out. She don't want to get out the car. She don't want to fucking help. This is going against her religion. Like, it's just too motherfucking much for her fat heart to take. So Beth like, what is tomorrow? And Ruby like, trash day. She like, all right. So when do we have to do this? We got to do this today, girl. Get your ass out this motherfucking garbage. So they then transport the body to the dumpster as Ruby praying. She like, Lord Jesus, hallowed be thy name. And so they get the body to the trash can. I don't know why the fuck they was walking so slow, because I would have ran to that motherfucker. They tossed the body into the trash can. As they walking away, they heard this nigga phone ring. And I was like, God damn it. Y'all didn't think to check and get any identification off this nigga, his phone, anything. So then they like, fuck, we gotta go and retrieve this fucking phone. So then they retrieve the phone. They inside the car. They all wiping their hands off with Purell. And Beth is just a germaphobe anyway. So she like, this is disgusting. Mama Purell's her hands, her face, her neck, and everything. She is just disgusted. So they all go home, and it's morning by this time. And they all fucked up behind what the fuck they did. Like, they have now, they not only committed robbery, they then, transported fake money. They so deep into this shit now, it's crazy. Now they have been, accessory to a fucking dead body and all this type of shit. So Ruby tells her husband, she's like, I did something bad. And I was like, Ruby, shut your ass up. Shut the fuck up, bitch. Shut up. So her husband like, what you do? And then she sit there and she was like, I got out a payday loan and I used your check as collateral and forged your name. And he was like, why do you do that? And she was like, our insurance wasn't coming in because they got a sick baby. Their daughter's sick. And she was like, we need the money. He was like, look, babe, we gonna figure this out. Her husband was a good one because that nigga let Ruby big ass get away with everything. I need a husband like him. Just find her. So we then see Rio. I love you so much. Like, we gonna get married and have like several Puerto Rican babies. I don't know what the fuck this nigga is, but I want him and I want all his sperm in my mouth. So then we see Rio playing tennis with his attorney at a country club. And I was like, ooh, I just smell the money coming off of him. I smelled the fucking money rolling off his dick. So she tells him that the FBI's witness, aka Boomer, missed the deposition again. And he tells her, see, I told you worry too much. And I was like, ow. And she was like, is there anything you need to be telling me? Like, are you being safe? And he was like, I'm good. Trust me. And I was just like, oh, just come lay on my mammy titties. So Beth's husband Dean brings in the mail and she tells him that she found a cheap therapist for their crazy ass son. And then as she's going through the mail, she sees a letter addressed to her from Rio, and his handwriting even beautiful. Woo! And so she becomes distracted as Dean trying to have a conversation with her. And I'm like, Dean, just die already. Just die so we can be with Rio. So then she opens up the letter when he leaves out, and Rio writes on a piece of paper, to the boss bitch, and attached to it is a key. And so then we see Beth, old stringer bell ass, going to the storage unit, and she opened it up and she sees something, but we don't get to see what it is because the episode goes off. And I was like, bitch, I ain't got time for Good Girls. Good Girls is my new favorite show. Once again, if you have never watched, binge watch season 1 and get caught up. We only on episode 3 of season 2. It is everything. You're gonna fall in love with Rio and Beth, bitch. Oh, Rio is bad. Like I said, I think Rio really got a lot of secrets. I bet you this nigga living a whole double life. Like, it's so much more to his character, and I can't wait for us to find out more and more. I just see in the future him and Beth falling in love with each other, and I think he's going to break Beth's poor heart. I think this nigga probably married. He probably got a whole family, a whole wife and shit, but he gonna end up falling in love with her too. And she gonna end up fucking up her whole life and her family behind this nigga. But something is telling me like in the future, like no time soon, but probably like if they get picked up for like a few more seasons, by season 5, they gonna end up killing Rio's character off and Beth gonna become that bitch and take over his business. I see nothing but death for Rio in the future, but just keep his character around as long as possible because Manny Montana plays the fuck out of that character. He really makes the show just the way he has portrayed the character Rio, just the mysteriousness, the quirkiness about him, the evil smirk, the sex appeal that he just exudes on the screen. Like I just live for it. Like yes, baby, Rio can get it any kind of way, any time of the night or day. Yes, God. Let me know what you thought about episode 3 of Good Girls. Make sure to thumbs up this video, like and subscribe, and hit that notification bell button. I love you guys very much, and thank you for watching this video.